to us about what really, perhaps inspired you to go ahead and pen down all the lessons perhaps that you've learned and all the series of, anecdotes that you shared.
Yes. Pia, thank you for asking that question, and thank the Times Lit Fest for inviting me to come and speak about my book, because this is a very valuable audience. I've addressed many forums since I started promoting my book, but to speak to a forum where people really love books, treasure books, like good books, it's very rare. You'd have to address hundreds of sessions to find a group like this. So I'm most grateful to be invited to the Times Lit Fest. Having said that, to answer your question, I wanted to write this story for a long time. I wasn't sure how to tell it. But I knew the time had come for me to tell my story. I've led an extraordinary life. I just needed to find the right way to tell it in the most compelling, interesting, unputdownable way. And with the coming of the pandemic, it gave me the time to think about that and gave me the time to write it. And once I sat down to write it, there was no stopping me. It was like wild horses just running away with me. The book almost wrote itself. Of course, I put in many hours, but there was a need in me to tell my story, not just for my family or for my record, but I think it's a deeply human document, because it's not just about triumphs and awards and wonderful films and people met. It's also about facing failure, about facing setbacks, about facing tragedies in your life, and how to overcome them. And I wanted to share that. And that's why I've dedicated my book to the younger generation. Not only my life, but the times in which I lived. Most interesting decade of the 1960s, the 70s in Bollywood, 80s, 90s in Hollywood. All that I needed to put down. And my book gave me the opportunity to do so.
I've read the book cover to cover, and I have to say that, you were brutally honest. Were you ever worried about rubbing people the wrong way? Because, you've mentioned so many, aspects of your life.
If I'm going to write about my life, it has to be honest. It has to be my truth. And my truth means even talking about my frailties, my weaknesses, my faults. If I am vulnerable and show that part of myself, not just the hero, but the human being who makes mistakes, then I have the right to talk about other people's mistakes as well. And I have no hesitancy about doing that. But when you're young and you're in love and you go through different things and you make rash decisions, and all those things are important to know, because that's what life is all about. It's about the journey, the wondrous journey of life, the joyful journey of life, the heartbreaking journey of life, the tragedies of life, and the beauty of life. The beauty of being human. That's my story.
And I've seen so many of your lives that you've done on your book, even the one with your granddaughter. I thought that was the most beautiful and very honest one. You've never really addressed how you handle all the attention that you get from the ladies. All your life, you've been so sought after by the ladies. How did you handle it back in the day?
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer, because if I say, yeah, I get lots of attention from ladies, people say, arrogant bastard. Excuse the French. If I say, no, people say, you're a liar. So it's one of those questions that has no right answer, because no matter what I say, I'm damned. Having said that, let me just say that whatever physical gifts I have that make me attractive, I have got from my parents. I didn't put together my face, my body, my arms, my legs. They gave it to me. They gave me my voice. They gave me my essence. Yes, I've worked on it. I've developed it. But as far as women are concerned, I have never, ever seen women as objects. I've always seen them as sensitive, caring, wonderful human beings. And I think that's reflected not only in the way that I keep relationships, even with my ex-wives, going, that anyone who's entered my life has a good feeling about me. And that's because I've always treated women with respect, unlike the image that a lot of people have of me, of being this ladies' man, etc. If I wanted to be that, why would I get married so many times? Why wouldn't I be footloose and fancy-free? I'm a romantic. I believe in love. I want to give love. I want to receive love. I want companionship. I want to share my life. So my journey has been one of sharing and caring, as well as all the other dramas that enter life, which are copiously written about in my book with great emotional drama and pain and joy. But there's no simple answer to your question.
Can understand that. But if this book were to be adapted into a movie, be it Hollywood, Bollywood, be it a web series, how would you see that playing? I think web series would be very apt because it can pick up so many different aspects which perhaps a 2-hour movie may not be able to.
You're quite right. I think given how much there is in my life and how many stories I have to tell and how many interesting things happened in it, it should be a web series. Whether that web series is made in India or abroad, I don't know because I have various markets that know me very well. But I can't say how it should be told. I'm going to leave that decision to the producers. I will not interfere in that. Who they cast to play me is also their decision, not mine. But I do feel it's a terrific story to read, to make, to see. And having lived that life, I know how thrilling and chilling it can be, and all the joys and sorrows of that existence. So I hope it finds a good home somewhere in time, and I hope the story is told, because it's a story that everyone should know about, whether through my book, or through a film, or through whatever means my story is known. But I do hope people get to know about my story, because strangely, a lot of people don't. Many people in India have no idea what I achieved in Europe, the kind of stardom I achieved. Many people have no idea of the reach of the Bold and Beautiful, which reaches 1 billion people a day, of the Bond films and the franchise and what that means. Zillions of things people don't know about me, emotionally, professionally, and I'd like that to be known because, hey, what's the point of it if nobody knows?
Well, thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. Thank you.